Hello. Today is one of my favorite episodes we've done because if you've been following since week one, congratulations, you are officially a homeowner. Okay, maybe not exactly, but whether you have just bought your first house or you're planning in the future, today we're going to be celebrating what comes next once you actually own a home. So, if you don't know, this is the No BS Homebuyers Live series where we are breaking down the home buying process into simple, no BS steps to get you from thinking about owning a home to actually buying and owning a home. And so, congratulations. If you're at this video, you have made it past the home buying process and you are now a homeowner. Well, buying was the goal, but building the life is the reward. So, congratulations. We are so excited because you have bought the house. Now you're going to take a breath, celebrate the moment because you've just dealt with a bunch of deadlines, you've dealt with a bunch of paperwork, inspections, hurry up and waiting. All of that was involved in your home buying process, and that can be just a little bit stressful. So now that we are here, you get to take a deep breath. The really stressful part is over, and now you get to enjoy it and enjoy the benefits of being a homeowner. So let's talk about some of the first things to do. Once you actually close on your home and you have the keys, what are some really important steps to take once you are the homeowner? I think the first one would just be to change the locks. You just never really know who still has a key. I don't even know who all has like the door codes to my house because I give them out to my neighbors and to family. And so if I went and sold my house, I would want to change that because you don't know who has it. Maybe there was one person that needed to pop in and drop off something while I was on vacation. So definitely change the keys, change the door codes, keep yourself safe. You don't want other people coming in and taking a peek or saying hello without your permission, obviously. And then additionally, you want to start saving your closing docs. So you're going to need some of these closing docs when it comes tax time. So I like to keep my stuff in a digital folder, or like I have access to them digitally, but then I also have my paper copies filed away neatly so that way I know where they are. Keep them forever. You don't know when you're going to need them. Maybe you need to reference back on a seller's disclosure that you signed when you bought the property, or maybe your accountant is asking for a certain document when it is tax time. You can keep that and submit that with them so that way you're making sure to take full advantage of any of the tax benefits of being a homeowner. And you just might need them for reference. So just have them saved somewhere where you know they're at. And then this one's really important, and I actually prefer people do this during the inspection time frame, but locate the really important shutoffs. My biggest one would be like the water shutoff. That's probably the most damaging potential issue is if you have a big water leak, you could flood a basement within a couple hours. So knowing where that water shutoff is very important. Additionally, your electrical panel, how to shut off the main power. If you're going to be doing any kind of electrical work, don't always trust what they've labeled in the box. If you don't have a tester, shut off the whole thing. And even if you have a tester, I don't want to get shocked. So I always just shut off our whole power whenever we're doing anything electrical. But knowing where that is will be very beneficial and helpful. Some houses, especially if you have like a separate building, like a separate garage, they may have their own power shut off. So just know before you do any kind of electrical work where that is. And then additionally, a gas shut off. If you ever smell gas in the house, just shut off all of the gas to the house until you can get someone out there to kind of check it and figure out where it's coming from. Because a house filled with gas is very dangerous. And don't light any lighters, please. But just know where all of these things are. So in the event something happens, you know where to shut them off at. And then test some other safety equipment. So test the smoke detectors, test the carbon monoxide detectors. If you have a fire extinguisher, make sure it's up to date, make sure it's not expired. These things can be very, very beneficial. And if they're not working in the situation that you need them to work in, it's very dangerous. So I know we're all supposed to test our smoke alarms every week. I don't know a single person that's ever done that. But especially when you're moving or if you're doing a lot of work and you're kind of already up there, say you're painting ceilings, just maybe test it or even replace it, put in a new one, depending on how old your house is. If any of them look yellow, they do that on purpose. That means it's getting old. So if they're really yellow, just change it. Keep yourself safe. And then fire extinguishers. So funny story, we actually have a fire extinguisher and we have used it. So I recommend having them. We had our grill, we have like a smoker grill, and it literally like lit on fire, all the grease one time. And so we had to whip out the fire extinguisher, and it was thankfully within date and worked great. But highly recommend you have that, or even a fire blanket, just anything to help protect yourself in those extreme situations, because it really can save a life. And then these things are just really nice to know and be prepared for, so you have them before you need them, because when you need them quickly. And my theory is, if I prepare for these things, like for example, we've written a will, then we don't have to use it for a while because, I've already prepared for it. But if I'm not prepared for it, that's when life's going to throw it at me and then we have to use it. So, and it's not there. So I just recommend always, taking care of that stuff ahead of time. And I feel like it brings you good juju that it doesn't happen then. All right. And now let's talk a little bit more about protecting your investment, the actual home that you own. You want to do the normal home maintenance things that you need to do, like make sure you're changing your HVAC filter. Some are different. You can do it monthly, every quarter roughly. Kind of just depends on your system and what was recommended by your HVAC person. Don't forget to change the garage door code along with any keyed in door codes, any Wi-Fi passwords. If you're using like the same box, like here where we're at, we have what's called Allo. And now you actually leave that Allo box with the next owner. So just make sure you set up your own network and do all that, any kind of security codes anywhere. Or if there's like locks on a shed, it probably doesn't hurt to change those things. Or you can rekey locks. So like call a locksmith and they'll come in, take the lock apart and put in a new little pattern. So that way your key is different and they'll give you new keys. One thing to check into, if you did get a home warranty, sometimes they include a free rekey. So if you've got a home warranty, go on there, double check and see if that's included in your warranty package, because that can help save you a little bit of cash. And then other things to be aware of, like when you buy a home, if the previous owners left like manuals and things, that's really great. But I always like to take pictures of like the serial number. So for example, our fridge in our house, it's an older fridge. We took a picture of like the model, serial, etc. So that way we can quickly and easily like search for it on our phones and then try to find like a replacement fridge filter or like our washer and dryer. If we ever need parts or the warranty information, we can have them just kind of stored on our phone in a specific area. You can like put it in like your notes app, or if you use, I don't use Discord, so maybe I'm completely wrong on this, but if you have a little Discord or a Google Drive, you can do kind of any of those and just save that information in one location. So it's a lot easier for you. Or if you are my client, you get a fancy little home manual when you close with me, and you can put that information in there as well. And you can do that for fridges, stoves, washer dryers, heater, like furnaces, water heaters, AC units. All that stuff could be in one little area if you ever need to reference it. Or, if your AC is outside and the weather's kind of rough, it might, make it harder to read that. And so then you still have it to reference later. And if you don't have a realtor that provides a home binder, you can download one off of online, or you can reach out to me and I will provide you one because I already have it all made. But a lot of home maintenance binders will give you ideas of different things you can do quarterly. It'll let you track the different things you've done. One of my favorites in my home binder is actually the paint tracker. So when you're painting different rooms, you can like color in a box and put your paint sample, put the paint number, the sheen, which is very important. You don't want to patch an eggshell or patch a glossy wall with an eggshell. It will stick out very badly. So you can put the color, where you bought it from, and then the sheen too. So that way you can keep track of what room you painted what color. And the home maintenance binder has all kinds of different things in it. So that's just one of my favorites. The other one that I think is really important that most people don't do but should is an inventory log, which is really good for insurance. So if you did have a fire and your house went up in flames, you have an inventory log of everything you have in your home. I recommend my buyers do this while they are moving because you're literally putting things into the room. So then as you're doing that, just write it down. Another option is to record the area, like record the room. So that way if you had to later, you could write down what was in there. But the inventory log is kind of nice because you can put down like the price. So that way you have something to reference in the event you had an insurance claim because your basement flooded and you didn't know where your water shut-off was. But all of that would have been prevented by watching this video. Anyway, so other things to do once you have become a homeowner is just some like general admin stuff. Don't forget to change your address. Make sure you like forward your mail. You're gonna probably have to change your IDs and update your address there. Any kind of like health insurance, credit cards, anything that you get stuff sent to your current address, update it so it's your new one. One that I am still having issues with recently has been PayPal. I bought something and it keeps shipping it to my old address. Luckily, we still own that property, but it's frustrating because then I have to text my tenants and say, hey, I'm sorry, I have a package I have to go pick up, blah, 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 blah. So do all the different things because when you automatically just pay through PayPal, it'll just ship it to whatever's on there. And even though you've changed it. Anyway, I digress. So make sure you change your address on all your different things. Make sure your utilities are all registered in your name. And most cases, your realtor is going to be letting you know, like, hey, do that the week before. But maybe you have a specific utility that maybe the previous owners didn't have, like you use Starlink and you don't use Allo. Or, just different security systems. There's all kinds of things that can be on that list, but whatever you're going to be using, make sure you register with your new address and any warranties, and then file your paperwork away properly. In certain situations, you may be eligible for some different exemptions. The homestead exemption is probably the most common one, depending on where you live and your age or disability levels. Like there are different tax programs that could save you some money on your property taxes. So make sure to check with your local county to see if you qualify for any of those, because we like to save money and we like to keep money in our pocket and not pay the government if we don't have to. And when you are doing your taxes, once you become a homeowner, make sure you tell your tax preparer that you are a homeowner, because it may be worth writing off your mortgage interest. And there may be other benefits to being a homeowner, depending how you file your taxes. And then this is kind of my favorite part, is finally make your place feel like home. You don't have to worry about decorating every room right away. Let's be honest, there's going to be lots of little things that need done, whether that's fix-ups, customizations, whatever. You don't have to have an HGT worthy house right away. Give yourself some time if that's even your goal, whatever you want. But it is kind of a fun part to make it your own, especially when you are doing little fix-ups, picking out your own style of things. And if you plan to sell it right like pretty quickly after, maybe keep it kind of neutral. But if you're going to hold on to this house for 15 years, go crazy. Like, do you. But that's just me trying to help you save money and increase your equity. Anyway, so while you're making the house your own, I love it when you're like, order some pizza in, eat it on the floor, dream about what you're doing. Make sure you take your pictures, holding the keys, go meet the neighbors, walk the neighborhood, enjoy your time, plant some flowers, and just celebrate, because you have gone through a pretty stressful situation and you have made it to the end. So congratulations, you deserve a break, and really soak in this moment because it really goes fast, and this is your home. So that's really exciting. So if you have been watching this series all the way from the beginning, you have gotten everything. And I hope one thing has become really clear throughout this And it is that buying a home, you don't have to know everything. It's about learning it all one step at a time. And that's exactly what we've done together over these videos. And I hope it has helped you. And I hope it will continue to help others while they are in the process. Because confidence doesn't come from knowing all the answers. It comes from knowing what the next step is. So I hope this has helped you become more confident, more excited, and more realistic on what the process is when buying your home. So if you or someone you know and is interested in buying a home, and this isn't the end video where you're celebrating for you, I would love to help. I would love to help encourage you, guide you, and educate you on the process. And if you're not in my market, I would gladly connect you with a realtor that can do the same for you. And you're also welcome to use all my content and information so that way you can learn as well along the way. And so I'm just really thankful that we have gotten to this point. We have gotten through, 29 weeks, and you are a homeowner now. And I'm just really excited that I've been a small part in this process for you. And I want to say thank you to everyone that has been here. If you've been here for week one or since week one, or just popping in every so often just to, cheer me on a little bit, I really appreciate it. And homeownership isn't just about buying a house. It's about creating stability. It's about creating wealth, building your wealth, making memories, and having a place that you can call your own and love. So I really hope this whole series has made it feel more achievable. We're going to continue doing weekly lives. That's the plan. I don't think it will be so much about the home buying process. I think I'm going to transition into home ownership, like general knowledge. So you might see a name change next week. But as of right now, thank you so much for joining me on the No Home Buyers Live series, or No BS Home Buyers Live series. The No Home Buyers, what? No, the No BS Home Buyers Live series, where we are breaking down the process into simple, easy to understand steps so you can go about from thinking about buying to actually owning. And I do want to give a quick shout out to some of my clients that actually came from these webinars, and they closed, I think it was last week or the week before last week. And so they have watched these and tuned in, and I'm so thankful, and I'm so happy that they are now officially homeowners. So congratulations, and I hope I get to help some more of you say the same. Well, if there's no questions, I will plan to see you next week, and we're going to talk more about being a homeowner and the different things to know about in that aspect. Thanks. Talk to you next week.